Samantha, are you there? Deborah? Are you there, Samantha? Deborah, you're there. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. I am having a hard time hearing you. I'm not sure why.
Okay, let's see. Microphone. Maybe turn it. Is that better?
That's much better. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I just had to turn my computer up. So.
Okay, good. And you're there, Deborah, too. All right, Deborah?
Hello, ladies.
Hi.
Oh, thank you so much for being part of the group. I had a hard time finding a group that I could meet with, and I'm very, very grateful to you
Yeah.
both.
Definitely.
So, what's your understanding? We need to go over the homework, or
Yeah, looks
the
like we need to go over part 2 of the homework. Or this, whatever it's called here.
preparation.
Assignment.
So,
Yes. Preparation.
okay. Do either of you have earbuds?
I do.
Because without the earbuds, it gives feedback.
Okay.
That's why we're hearing the.
Okay, let me get mine, see if that helps.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Come on.
Your dog is taking statistics too, huh, Deborah?
Exactly.
It's cute. It's cute. All right. So you've all worked through it. So
Yes.
Deborah, why don't you read through the questions, first two, and then we'll trade off and have Samantha go through the next two.
Okay.
Okay, and this is for part 2 of the like preparation assignment, right?
Right.
Is that what we're doing?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm starting with number 6, which is the first one.
Correct.
Are you there?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. I lost visual there for a second. Okay. Says a medical student researches the prevalence of aspirin usage by questioning all of the patients who enter her clinic for treatment, which is the convenience sampling, because
That's
it's
what I
just,
got.
yeah.
That's what I got as well.
Okay, and the next one says the Colorado Department of Health obtains an alphabetical list of 2 million Colorado residents, adult 2 million adult Colorado residents, and constructs a pool of survey subjects by selecting every 1,000th name on the list after randomly choosing one person from the first 1,000 on the list. And I put systemic sampling for that.
I got that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one says in a Gallup poll of 1,059 adults, the interview subjects were selected by using a computer to randomly generate telephone numbers that were then called. I put that as simple random samplings.
Right.
That's what I got
too.
Awesome. The next one, a dietitian has partitioned people into age categories of under 18, 18 to 49, 50 to 69, and over 69. She is surveying a simple random sample of 200 members from each category. I put stratified sample.
That's what I have as well.
Okay.
And E, Johns Hopkins University research surveys all cardiac patients in each of 30 randomly selected hospitals. I originally put stratified there, but they said it was a cluster sample. Can you explain to me why that is a cluster sample?
So what I understood from the reading for a cluster sample is they randomly select like the larger, like, so they're selecting 30 of the hospitals, which would be like the random sampling portion of it, and to make it the cluster sample, in each of those hospitals they have to interview everybody in there.
Yeah, I just figured it was cluster because it's a cluster of cardiac patients.
Okay.
That's
Both
what
of
I
those.
took it as.
Okay.
So there's obviously subsets, as you know, in the hospital of patients, and that subset of patients was a cluster of cardiac patients as opposed to other hospitalizations.
Okay.
That's
Both
what
of
I
those
took it
make
as.
sense. Okay, both of those make sense and help clarify for me. Thank you.
Good.
Number 7, the American Medical Association wanted to determine general patient satisfaction with the patient's primary care physician. Determine the type of sampling method used in the following scenarios. A, they took a simple random sample of doctors and then sampled all of the patients that the doctor works with. I put that as a cluster sample as well.
I did too.
Me too.
Okay. Deb, go ahead.
Okay. They put all of the residents' names in a computer and use a random number generator to get a sample of 100 patients. And I put simple random sampling for that one.
I have that as well.
Yep.
And they divide the residents up by gender and then do a simple random sample of residents within each gender. And I put stratified sampling for that.
Me too. So D says they randomly pick key intersections in the city and then picking every 5th person that walks by after randomly picking one of the first 5 people to be in the sample. I put that as the systematic sample.
I agree.
Okay. Okay, number 8. My computer. Okay, there we go. Says determine for each scenario whether it is an observational study or an experimental design. If it's an experimental design, determine the response, treatment, and subjects. So for A, it says the Center for Disease Control obtains current flu data by randomly polling 300 men and 300 women. I put that as observational study.
I agree.
I agree.
Good.
You plan to conduct an experiment to test the effectiveness of Sleepy's, a new drug that is supposed to reduce insomnia. So you randomly divide 1,000 patients into 2 groups, where half get the Sleepy's and the other a placebo. They record the gender of each subject. You will then observe how many hours of sleep they get in a week. And I put this as the 1,000 patients were the subjects. The treatment was the placebo versus the Sleepy's. The response was how many hours of sleep they got a week, and it was an experimental design.
Yes. That's what I got.
And you, Deb?
Okay, so in September 2004, Newcrest Pharmaceuticals Inc. announced the results of its first human trial of NPI 32101, a topical form of its skin ointment. A total of 224 patients diagnosed with skin irritations were randomly divided into 3 groups as part of a double-blind, placebo-controlled study to test the effectiveness of the new topical cream. The first group received a 0.5% cream. The second group received a 1% cream, and the third group received a placebo. Groups were treated twice daily for a 6-week period and the degree of skin irritation was recorded at that time. So I put it's a designed experiment.
Agree?
Yes.
The subjects are the patients, the 224 patients with skin irritation.
Yes.
Yes.
The response variable is the degree of irritations that they observe.
Yeah.
And the treatments are the skin creams and or the group that received the placebos. The skin cream,
Yep.
Not that you can really say a placebo is a treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then the next part is that we need to go over the homework assignment. And now I'm trying to find mine because I did print
I'm
it
trying
out.
to find mine too.
I had them all here. I thought I did.
Just a second.
Okay. Hang on. I can't find mine, but I'm going to see if I can open it online. Do you see this when I open this online now?
No.
No.
Okay. Oh, here it is. I found it. Okay, here it is. Did I lose you?
We're still here.
We're here.
Okay, it's my wire. Okay, so the first question is classify each of the following classify each of the following to collaborate with the students. Classify each of the following variables in categorical or quantitative. So the number of new automobiles sold at a dealership on a given day would be quantitative.
Yes.
B, gender, would be categorical.
Yes.
Go ahead, Deb. Take from there. Deborah?
The total number of hours slept in the past 24 hours would be quantitative. The handedness, which is either if you're right-handed or left-handed, is categorical.
Yep.
E is the species of tree sold at a nursery. I put as categorical.
I agree.
Weight in carats of an uncut diamond, I put as quantitative.
I agree.
And the brand name for a pair of running shoes, I put as categorical.
That's what I have as well. Explain the difference between an observational study and a designed experiment. I wrote just observe the results measured in the observational, and then in the designed experiment, you design results to be measured.
Yes. Yep.
And then briefly explain each of the following types of sampling procedures. A simple random sample would be pulling a number out of a hat or just random. Go ahead, Deborah.
Okay, stratified is, what did I put for stratified? When they're similar within each group. I lost my notes. Where are my notes? I had all this figured out and then I lost my notes.
I'm sorry. It's hard to keep track of all this.
That's right. It is.
Yeah.
It is. That's right. So they're dividing into similar groups. That's
Yes.
stratified, right?
Yeah,
Right.
and then they take a simple random sampling of each of those groups.
Right. So if you're
Yeah.
dividing it up by like freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and then you're
Yeah.
taking a sampling of each one of those.
Yes.
Right. Okay. It's like you lose your train of thought there for a second. Okay, the systemic random sampling. And that one, from my notes, is the number that you're starting like a certain number each time. Let's say you're starting at 10 and then you go to 20 and then 30 and 40 and so on. You're starting at a specific number and then you're going at that same number. Or increments of that same number, I should say.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. The one thing we have to remember is you randomly pick the first one and then
Right.
go for the same numbers after.
Right.
Okay.
And then
Okay,
go ahead.
and then the cluster sample, I put that all items in like one or more randomly selected like cluster, or also call them blocks in the reading.
Okay.
So you just, it's like goes back to like the cardiac patients one where they had 30 hospitals, and then in those like hospital clusters, they interviewed all of the cardiac patients from each one.
Yeah.
So, and then for number 4, it says state healthcare regulators wanted to assess how satisfied residents of nursing homes are with the care they receive. In order to obtain a sample, the regulators used a registry that contained all of the state's nursing homes listed in alphabetical order. They randomly chose a number between 1 and 20 and got 16. They selected the 16th nursing home on the list and every 20th nursing home thereafter until they reached the end of that list. Which sampling method did they use? I put that as the systematic random sample.
That's what I had as well.
Which is what we just talked about.
Yes.
Okay. So the last thing we need to do is do the
The group
online
quiz, I think?
quiz. Yeah.
Quiz.
Okay.
And when I went on last night so that I could have a review of these, my computer was odd, and I lost it somehow, and now I can't seem to get it back on. So it says I can retry, but I'm not seeing how to do that. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can. That's why I can't get to it. I'll take notes. Wow. I'll take notes while you guys read, while I'm trying to get mine up again.
Okay. So the first two, are we ready to start then?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first two you just kind of have to answer on your own if you're participating and whatnot. But we'll start with number 3. It says researchers would like to determine if reviewing material consistently within an hour after class helps students perform better on exams than if students wait to review material the day before the exam. To answer this question, the researchers are trying to determine if an observational study or an experiment would be more appropriate. They are discussing who the population would be and how they will determine which sampling method will best represent the population. Which of the 5 steps of the statistical process are the researchers currently applying? The design the study, collect data, describe the data, make inferences, or take action. Let's see. I would say that they are. I would say that they're still trying to design the study.
Right, they've got the question.
Yeah.
Sounds like they just need to design the study
Yeah.
and how they're going to carry it out.
Okay.
Is that what you get, Deborah?
Yeah, I just brought it up myself here. My laptop's really slow.
Okay, I think if all of our quizzes are the same, it should be number 3 for all of us. But I know sometimes iLearn switches it up, so.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We're getting a lot of interference out there with, I guess, Google's Hangouts.
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of feedback too, but
I don't see it's anybody here, so it must be out there on the. Okay, number 4, a researcher has collected the results of a survey where the participants are asked how many hours of TV they watched each day. The researcher tallies the frequency for each category and computes mean number of hours watched. She then creates a histogram to help illustrate the overall distribution. Which of the steps of the statistical process did the researcher apply? That would be describing the data, I would believe.
I agree. Because she's making like the charts and putting what she's seen like into words, so.
Right. Okay, Deborah, do you have number 5?
Yeah, it says Mumbai, India is a quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well as the global economy. A marketing research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would support this fast food business. From a list of all registered taxpayers, 3,000 names are randomly selected. Each individual on the list is mailed a brief questionnaire. This researcher receives 1,049 responses. The population is, I'm looking over here. The population is the citizens of Mumbai. The researchers receive 1,049 responses. The population, what are they asking?
I would say the population would be the 3,000 people who were chosen, randomly. Or would that be wrong? Let me see.
List of all.
Because they're asking what the population is, but not how many people were selected.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the population is it's a general question. But yeah, I think the 3,000 people seems like it makes more sense than the citizens of Mumbai. I guess the population of it's kind of confusing to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess if we talk through it this way, if they chose 3,000 names from the population of Mumbai, and they got responses of 1,049, then the population would still be the undetermined because they only took a sample. The 3,000 names were random sample, and the responses were only 1,049. So the population would be undetermined, really.
So would we say that
as a number?
In the video that he made for this week, he said that the populations is like on a very large set scale, and the sample would be like a subset of the population. So could we say that the population would be the citizens of Mumbai in the 3,000 names, even though they only got like just over 1,000 responses, would be the subset?
That's how I would see it.
The most sense to me.
Okay, so then it would be the citizens of Mumbai.
Okay, all right, I agree.
Okay.
Even though that's undetermined.
I think it can be read a number of ways. You know.
I think it could be too.
Okay, but I agree. I agree that the population would be the citizens.
Okay. Okay, so number 6, Mumbai, India. Oh, did we just do this one?
No.
Oh, okay.
Another one.
It's a quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well as the global economy. A marketing research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would support this fast food business. From a list of all registered taxpayers, 3,000 names are randomly selected. Each individual on the list is mailed a brief questionnaire. So the sample, they're asking for the sample this time. So would that be the 3,000 people, since the sample is the subset?
Right. That's
right.
Okay.
I agree. Studies have shown that retention of classroom materials can drop as low as 58% within 15 minutes of the class, and with 44% after the first hour of the class. This forgetting curve continues so that within 6 days only 25% is remembered. How can a student conquer this forgetting curve? The researchers in this study claim their constant review is important. Suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invite you to participate in a study where you are asked to review specific material 50 minutes after class for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes, and then again 2 days after class for 10 minutes. Your teacher then gives you a short 10-question quiz where you score out of 10. Your score out of 10 is recorded. What type of data is your teacher collecting? It would be quantitative.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, studies have shown that retention of classroom materials can drop as low as 58% within 15 minutes of class and within 44% after the first hour after class. This forgetting curve continues so that within 6 days only 25% is remembered. How can a student conquer this forgetting curve? The researchers in this study claim that constant review is important. Suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invited you to participate in a study where you were asked to review specific material 15 minutes after class for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes, and then again 2 days after class for 10 minutes. After the 6th day, your teacher asks you if you feel confident that you have retained at least 50% of the material. He then records your response as yes, no, not sure. What type of data is your teacher collecting? Is confidence something that is quantitative?
No, because we can't.
I think it would have to be categorical.
I agree.
Because you can't do like the math on it.
Right. You can't quantitate. Yeah. It's not quantitative data there.
Yeah, I would say categorical also.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
Okay. Number 9.
You don't have to read the whole thing again. I would just read the last.
So let's see. Your teacher also selects a group to give no review to the material over the 6 days. This group is called the, I would say that would be the treatment group. No, that would be the control group.
Control group.
I would say control group.
Yeah.
I would say control. We all agree with that one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Which of the following would be considered an experimental study? A telephone poll, asking people about whether or not they are vaccinate their children, administering the tuberculosis vaccine to one group and giving a placebo to another, a census, and a mail survey asking people whether or not they received the tuberculosis vaccine. So an experimental design study would be administering the tuberculosis vaccine to one group and giving a placebo to another.
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. In a study to determine the average wage of working people in Mumbai, which of the following would be the best sample? Every 10th worker that you meet as you travel the streets of Mumbai, all of the workers in one working district, many randomly selected workers in each of several working districts of Mumbai, all the female workers. Well, it's not that one. Okay, which would be the following best sample to the average wage of with the working people? Let's see.
I think I would say C.
Yeah, I was thinking too. Randomly selected
agree.
workers. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yep.
Over like several different districts.
Yeah, that one makes sense to me.
Very good. I agree.
Okay. Okay, number 12. You want to become the next Jonas Salk and produce a vaccine that will help cure children of respiratory, RSV. You test the vaccine and compare it to a placebo and randomly choose one group of children to take the vaccine and one group to take the placebo. What or who are the experimental units or subjects? I would say the children.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
13. You want to become the next, cure children of RSV, the test vaccine and compare to the placebo and randomly choose one group of the children to take the vaccine and one group to take the placebo. What are the treatments? The treatment is the vaccine and the placebo.
Agreed.
Yes. Oh, this is a long one. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. In 1992, the U.S. government supported a study that was run for 15 years, where 4,608 low-income families were given a chance to move to less impoverished areas. They distributed vouchers and provided various support systems. The researchers wanted to determine if getting people out of poor neighborhoods would reduce the poverty level of U.S. citizens. The low-income families were randomly assigned to one of the following three groups. Oh my gosh, okay. Okay, what type of study was it? I'm not going to read all of that stuff. Okay, so they moved them, so it wasn't just an observational study because they actively moved them. An observational study is where they just observe. So they distributed vouchers and provided various support systems, so it had to be an experimental.
I think I would say experiment also.
Yeah, they have a control group. They have two systems, so
Yeah, it was an experiment to see if moving them would bring them out of poverty and giving them vouchers. So it wasn't just an observational thing, even though they did observe afterwards, but they did facilitate
Yeah.
that. They distributed money, basically.
And then the third group, which says the control group, they didn't receive anything.
Right.
So I would say experiment.
I agree.
Okay, 15. If a p-value of 0.002 was found for the study described above, then we could say that there is about a 0.0002 probability of obtaining the actual observed result, or one more extreme, assuming the null is true. The p-value. I would say true.
Can we describe the p-value again so I understand this?
Yeah, I don't really get the p-value either, and I read over it a couple of times. But it seems like if the p-value is high, then the null is true, and if it's
Okay.
low, then it's false. That's just what I've gotten from it so far. And I still don't really know what that means, so...
Yeah, that's one thing I'm still not super clear on.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Because what he was talking about in the video is the same thing that it said in the reading, pretty much. And so it didn't really give any more
Yeah, it's not clear.
Information.
Yeah, I definitely need more clarity on what that is, but...
Okay, so the p-value is, if a p-value is a low number, you reject the null. And
if it's a
the
high
p-value is high, then you fail to reject the null. So
would we say
assuming the
that's
null is
low?
true. So we
I
would
think
say
it's true.
true, yeah, that the null is true.
Yes, the null
Okay.
is true.
Okay.
And I don't know what that means, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
since the p-value is low in 15, the researchers could conclude that the results of this are significant in providing low-income families with the opportunity to move away from low-income neighborhoods does make a difference in poverty levels. Then the null, I'm going to have to say yes because we said that it was assuming the null was true.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If the null is true, then their question was valid.
Right.
Last one.
Okay, match the following. So collecting data is step 2.
True.
Yes.
Okay, so that's C. Take action is the last step. So that's step 5.
Yeah.
Design the study is number 1. That's E. Describe the data is the 3rd step. So that's D, step 3. And that leaves make inferences as the 4th step.
I think we have different letters for our corresponding numbers.
I think so too.
Okay. As long
Okay,
as
so
everybody
number
else
one
has
is
different
number 1 is C, is what I've got. Step 2.
I have my step 2 is E, so I still got step 2, but I think it's just different letters for each of us.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I still followed. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay.
My computer, but.
Okay.
So
I guess that's it.
can Daniel discern more truth? So anyway,
Yep.
we could get. So do you guys have any other questions you want some help with?
No, I just need to talk to the professor about the P thing.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that I'm still unclear on.
I need to talk to him about that because I don't really have a good understanding of it yet.
Yeah, me too.
P-value. Okay. And um, are we going to be prepared to meet tomorrow night, and at what time would you like to meet?
Yeah, we can meet around the same time is fine with me.
Yeah, that would work good for me too.
Okay, so 9 p.m.
Right.
Yeah, Eastern time, yes.
Okay. And that's 6 o'clock your time, Deborah. That still works.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
At least that way we'll be done for the week.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. The other question is, do you know, do we stay in this group for the length of the time?
I think
would
we
love
do.
it.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was. I'm not sure. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I just submitted our quiz and we missed number 6. The one that the sample size one for the Mumbai, India. It wanted to know what the sample size, I guess, was supposed to be the 1,049 people who responded, and we put it was the 3,000 people who were mailed the questionnaire.
Ah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
But we did get the population right. It was the citizens of Mumbai. So
Yay.
good job there.
We got it right.
Okay, so that makes sense. They chose the sample was supposed to be 3,000, but they only got 1,049 back.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, I guess that I thought it would still be the 3,000 people because that's how many they chose and were chosen like randomly. I didn't think it mattered how many responses they got back, but I guess it does.
Yeah, unless they assumed that the rest of them were yay or nay. So
yeah, and it also says for the p-value question, it says it's been excluded from the quiz, so I'm sure there's probably more people who have had trouble with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but we definitely need clarification.
You can still ask to get clarification, just that one wasn't part of the quiz.
Right.
Yeah.
But we did get it right.
Good.
Oh,
yeah.
It doesn't say whether it's right or not, does it?
Yeah, it doesn't actually say. Number 15, the first part of the p-value one we did get right, but the second part has been excluded, so yeah.
Okay. Very good. All right, then I'll set up a time for tomorrow night at 9 o'clock again.
Awesome.
And,
sounds good.
Again, thank you very much. I appreciate you a lot.
Yeah, so. I think it's going to work good, so hopefully we can keep it up.
I agree.
Awesome.
Okay, ladies.
Have a good day.
Until tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
Yep. Yes. See you all then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Then we have to go here. We have to go here. 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 Hi, Patty. How are you? I'm good, thanks. So people have been trying to call Barry, and he's not answering his phone. Is that okay? Wow. Yeah, yeah. Okay. I will give him a call right now and figure out why you're not getting the assignments, because I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.